A bill at the legislature could give 70,000 West Virginians the right to carry one of these without a license. I'm Samantha Smith, and our Emmy Award-winning WVU News starts now.
You might watch WVU's dance team from the crowd, but I've got the best seat in the house. I'm Nakia Bracey, and after the break on WVU News, I'll show you how they're prepping for nationals. And trust me, the view looks a whole lot different up close.
Straight ahead on WVU News, I'm mleighsivoh, and I'll tell you about how one Morgantown golfer took his shot on one of the sport's most iconic stages.
What happens when you can't hear this sound? I'm Reagan Deuceman, and after the break on WVU News, a group of students is redesigning the driving experience, making sure no one gets left behind.
Here at the State Robotics Championship, it's more than just about building a robot. I'm Mira Hovis, and coming up on WVU News, I'll tell you how students are building confidence with their teams.
For years, there was a step between owning a gun and carrying it concealed. A 5-hour safety course for 18 to 21-year-olds at ranges like this. Now that step is gone.
Up to 48 million Americans experience some form of hearing loss, meaning cars like this one could be a game changer. Through sensors and alerts, the vehicle listens for critical sounds, such as sirens, horns, emergency signals, and sends visual and physical alerts inside the car right here in front of the driver.
Think about the last time you went out. Did you stop counting after 1, 2, or did you stop counting after a few? According to the CDC, in West Virginia, 1 in 5 adults report binge drinking. Alcohol Awareness Month is about moments like this, just stopping to check in.
This team makes it look easy, but even one 8 count takes months to practice and time. And that's just a little bit of what they're perfecting for nationals in Daytona.
Childcare in West Virginia costs nearly $9,500 a year. That's nearly $37 a day. Take a look around this Senate chamber. That's 34 seats. That means $1 per seat every day, and that's just for one child.
But for a lot of young West Virginians, the biggest health challenge isn't something you can see. Mental health, anxiety, and depression. According to the report, more than 22% of people in the state say that they experience poor mental health days for 14 or more days per month. This is one of the highest rates in America.
I'm Samantha Smith, reporting on the stories that matter to you this legislative session. This is WVU News.
I'm actually a registered Republican, and the reason I'm out here is because we've got to follow those laws. We've got to follow due process. We're not following due process.
Our workforce is 50th in the country, so it would help us there. With more people in the workforce, it would increase our personal income tax collections, which would help our budget to help us serve all of our citizens.
Having a vote is foundational to my ability to express and articulate the needs of the student body, because I can say all I want, and without a vote, it doesn't have to mean anything if no one will listen.
National data shows 1 in 3 women experience physical or sexual violence in their lifetime, and nearly 80% say safety concerns affect their daily routines. That's a
The 7-day, 5-event state robotics tournament at Fairmont State University attracted 188 teams with one goal: to bring home a trophy. However, freshman Gage Corwin of the North Marion High School Spaghetti Coders says his team is more than just a group building a robot.
At the start of this year, I wasn't the most social person, but joining robotics helped me connect with more people, find interests with other people, like the same interests. So it's really just helped me find more things to talk about with people.
Robotics isn't just about math and science. It's about so much more. That's why robotics is growing in West Virginia. In 2011, there were only 59 robotics teams in West Virginia. But by 2023, that number had skyrocketed to 566 teams. And Todd Ensign says while the growth in numbers is impressive, so is the level of talent West Virginia students bring to the table.
Years ago, West Virginia teams might go to a regional competition outside of our state, and we weren't as competitive. Today we are. And not only are our teams going neck to neck with these other teams their programs have been around for over a decade, but we're also hosting signature level events like in Ohio County, the Gateway to the West.
Over 70% of surveyed team coaches report that robotics team participation boosted their students' leadership skills and communication.
You never know what you're going to come up against when you're working with somebody you don't know, so you have to learn problem-solving skills and teamwork and community involvement.
And as the competition wraps up, Gage says he plans to continue with his school's robotics team, not just because it's helping him in the classroom, but because it's giving him lifelong friendships.
For Nate Romano, a native of Clarksburg, gun safety has always been the #1 priority.
Anytime we went to do anything with guns, whether it was just shoot recreationally, target practice for hunting, or go out hunting, it was always safety was the paramount thing. It didn't matter whether we got an animal or hit the target or anything like that. It was always safety.
Romano spent his whole life around firearms, gaining the necessary training when he was young.
I took my West Virginia Hunters Safety Education course at 4.5 or 5 years old, so pretty much from the time I've been physically able to be around, hold, and shoot guns, I've been doing that.
But for young adults, gun safety measures are changing thanks to a bill passed in the legislature this year.
For years, there was a step between owning a gun and carrying it concealed. A 5-hour safety course for 18 to 21-year-olds at ranges like this. Now that step is gone.
Republican delegate Chuck Horst, the sponsor of House Bill 4106, says the change is simply giving this group the constitutional carry rights held by every other adult in West Virginia since 2016.
18 to 20-year-olds have been able to carry openly in the state of West Virginia since the state has been a state. It's just a matter of putting a jacket on makes them required to get a permit.
But it's the jacket that makes Romano nervous.
At least if I knew, if I could see it on their belt, I'd know whether I could make a decision at that point whether that was the place I want to stay or not.
Democratic delegate Hollis Lewis agreed.
They already have the right to carry. However, I think it is a difference, particularly when you're talking about confrontations between young men and young women, and they may not know that somebody has a weapon on them. So things like that can escalate quickly, and I think training is important, and we have to set proper guidelines.
Both Lewis and Romano say it's not about whether young adults can carry concealed. It's about training them to be safe when doing it.